Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. A little while ago, we had our friends from Tint World on the show, and they showed us some of their ceramic coatings and the products to keep those looking good. Well, guess what? Tint is in the name, Tint World. So window tint is how you guys really started, Joe, back in the 80s. And what inspired your founder to start the business in the first place?
Charles, our CEO, always had an knack for trying to get an automotive accessory place where it's a one-stop shop. You could just go to one place, get tint, accessories, whatever you want. And when he came down to Florida, Tint World was established already in 1982 and started with 6 locations. And he saw an opportunity. He bought the company. Back in 2007, we started franchising Tint World. And today we're, have 100 franchisees worldwide and 100 in development right now.
What makes Tint World different from some of the other tint brands out there?
What makes us unique is our franchising system. We have a support system that supports our franchisees, and we have intensive training where we have certified technicians and teach them everything that they need from everyday operations to technical aspects of doing the actual jobs. We really concentrate on making sure our franchisees are successful. If they don't succeed, we don't succeed. We want to sell more stores. The only way we're going to be able to sell more stores is by having a success story behind it. Our stores on an average reach their ROI in 6-8 months. A lot of businesses don't hit that for a long period of time.
That's pretty amazing. Now let's talk about the window tints and the products you actually sell. What sets your actual product apart from some of the others out there?
We offer various different packages. So we have film in everybody's budget. However, the film is kind of like cars, right? The technology changes throughout the years. So a car from the 80s doesn't necessarily need the modern film of today, because today we have a lot more electronics in our cars. So what separates us is that ours is made in the US, manufactured to our specifications, and we go for the highest grade possible to offer our consumer the best product.
And then how is the installation process different than others we've seen?
We use a computer cut software. So if I cut a Subaru, like what's behind us, every car that comes in is going to get that same exact fit. All right, and we use state-of-the-art software. It makes the installation more precise, and it helps the technician to get the job done faster and more accurately.
What are some of the main reasons folks are getting their windows tinted?
So when people see tinted windows, biggest thing is that everybody associates it with heat. But there's a big thing that a lot of people with medical conditions, skin cancer, eye conditions. So there's also that medical exempt. For example, if you needed to get your windshield tinted, that's illegal in many states, right? But with a medical exempt, you can actually get that and protect your eyes. Our film is actually recognized by the Skin Cancer Foundation. So it's known to help aid of preventing skin cancer.
And we're not just talking about windows, you have films to protect the rest of the car as well.
Absolutely. We have our PPF, which is our paint protection film, and we also do, vehicle vinyl wraps and vinyl stripes and all that other stuff.
How many Tint World stores are there out there?
So currently we have 100 stores open up, like I said, worldwide. 100 are in development, and to find the nearest Tint World to you, you just simply go to our website, tintworld.com. We have a store locator. You punch in your zip code, and it's going to show you the stores that are available in your area.
And what if I want to become a franchisee? How do I do that?
Very similar. On that same website, we have a section that's going to be for the franchisee development. You submit your information, our development team will contact you, and then they'll tell you all the next steps that you do to become a new owner of a Tint World brand.
If you're a customer, you're going to love what Tint World can do for your vehicle. And if you're looking to franchise, I've been talking to Joe about some of the stuff they do to support their franchisees, and it is second to none. Check it all out at tintworld.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, so don't go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. In the off-road world, two things you don't want to compromise on: comfort and safety. Now, you've been off-roading for a long time, Taylor. What are some of the measures folks take to get around the safety aspect?
Not wearing helmets and seatbelts are the #1 issue right now. So we tried to bring some comfort features to traditional safety products to not give people an excuse to skip on those items anymore.
First of all, I want to add that Amped Off-Road, your company, is not an upstart. You've been at this for a long, long time in your family.
Yeah, my father started G-Force Racing Gear when I was a kid, so grew up with that my entire life. So took all that knowledge that we gained in that business and then specifically brought it to an affordable price point in the off-road market.
And if you don't know the name G-Force, that is a big name in motorsports and has been for a long time. So you've taken the G-Force lineage and evolved it into what we see here.
Exactly.
And how does this compare to the other, like the DOT standard safety helmets, versus racing helmets that are out there?
So these are based specifically more on a fiberglass mold, which you're going to find on entry-level Snell helmets compared to ABS injected mold items, which are competition used for their DOT, which you find in motocross helmets, downhill bike helmets, that kind of plastic. So we went with a heavier duty material that Snell uses and thought we would make it DOT rated for everyone to enjoy.
And some of the cool features I like here, this is your half helmet.
Yes.
And the strap is more forward. You don't have the Y
exactly.
that most helmets would have.
So that works with the behind the head headsets specifically. So people that really don't want to wear a helmet but need to wear one and still utilize communications, which are big in UTVs now, and still have a helmet that's DOT certified. So that's a pretty niche item. We're kind of the only ones doing that one at the moment. And then this is our full face forced air helmet. Comes with a offset air import, helmet skirt to keep the dust out, positive pressure. Going in, you can wire it up, talk to your friends, and a lot of people were complaining about the airport placement on helmets. So traditionally, this piece would be run along the front, which can blow into your mic, dries your mouth out. The industry kind of moved to the top placement, but then people are putting aftermarket roll cages on, running into clearance issues, so we put it on the side. And before our helmet came out, it was $700 or $800 Snell approved, maybe even a carbon fiber helmet. So we want to bring an affordable DOT Snell-based helmet to the market where people could still have their families protected while having safety and comfort at the same time.
So you put a lot of thought into these, and you put a lot of thought into the safety harnesses you have.
Correct. These are our brand new Lightning Series harnesses, and the webbing you typically find has been upgraded. So this is a much smoother, lighter weight material, much more malleable, so it's more comfortable. And then we've also made the pads removable as well, so you can put them in your washing machine. You can adjust them with height. If you're a taller person, you scoot the seat forward, the harnesses are fixed. So maybe you're shorter, your son drives it, he goes all the way forward, then the very bottom of the harness is all the way at his shoulder, so you could unvelcro the pads, put it back on where it's appropriately mounted for a safe and comfortable experience.
I know one of your most popular items, you couldn't bring it here because you can't keep them in stock.
Exactly, so we offer a suspension seat that brings your comfort to the next level within your UTV. So it has a spring set up in the bottom with webbing that bounces up and down when you can hit those big whoops in the desert, hit a big rock. So if you really want to elevate your experience on top of the harnesses, helmets, you can go with our suspension seat.
It's next level safety equipment at a price you're going to love. Find them at ampedoffroad.com. Air ride suspension, it's been around for decades and it's fantastic until it breaks. And Andrew, it can cost a fortune to replace a strut like that. But how can you help me at Rebuild Master Tech?
Rebuild Master Tech, we rebuild everything. Take the original core off the car, only OEM cores, no aftermarket, anything like that. Tear it all down to its core, put new airbags, new seals, new rubber, new everything on it. Give it back to you at a fraction of the cost.
You mentioned the airbag. What are some other components that can go bad on a strut like this?
The O-ring, typically, and any fittings. Most struts get the new fittings on top here, new can as well, new dust boots.
We're looking at a Bentley and a Mercedes strut. What are we talking about, $1,000 if one of these goes bad?
Give or take, yeah, 1,000.
Yeah. What are some of the other stuff you offer besides the entire strut? What if I just know I need a line or something like that?
Oh yeah, that's why we got these lines here. We sell the whole line complete as an assembly, so you hook it up, splice it into your original air ride system, or if you just need just a fitting or just a splicer, you can get that, or just the airline itself.
And here's something you brought in, and there's a reason we have the Jeep behind us. This is the elbow connector, something that goes bad a lot on these Jeeps. Why does that wear so quickly?
You're adding another point of entry. There's O-rings inside here, go bad very typically, and also the fitting itself. But it doesn't go bad as much, but really Jeep added another connection here just for it to go bad after some time.
This is the elbow unit from you at Rebuild Master Tech. And this is one from overseas?
Correct, yeah.
And what's the difference between the two, the way they send theirs versus the way you send yours?
We pre-install the fitting on here, and you don't have to mess with it or anything like that. As opposed to our overseas friends, they like to do 2 separate units for whatever reason, and a lot of guys, they don't know, they put it here, they put it there, they don't know to take this plastic clip off, they've got no idea. We pre-install everything, and ours is an original Voss fitting, as opposed to this one, it's not original.
So you keep it simple and not do any damage. Right. Now the solenoid here, I was amazed, you showed this to me beforehand. Now, what does the solenoid do here, say on this Mercedes strut?
If you want to dampen the suspension, so if you want a softer ride or a stiffer ride, sport comfort, that's what they usually call it, you have a button in the dashboard to control that. And with our struts, we keep that all original. We don't add anything or take away anything. We only rebuild OEM cores, as opposed to our other overseas friends. They like to mimic it, and I could take this off. It doesn't do anything. There is no connection going into the shock absorber at all.
Just a bypass.
Correct, yeah. Essentially,
Incredible.
it's just resistors on top and bottom.
You showed me this earlier. What should be back here? And this is just a cap.
How do you control a strut like that?
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't go anywhere.
Amazing. You can restore your ride thanks to Rebuild Master Tech, and you can do it at a fraction of the cost of the OEMs. Find them at rebuildmastertech.com. And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this.
Dragonfire Tools, quality affordable storage. Proud sponsor of our DragonfireTools.com studio.
DragonfireTools.com has 3 different 9-foot 4.5-inch workbenches. This one is a monster, Lou. Tell me about it.
This one right here is our 30-drawer Midnight Pro Series workbench, and you're right, David, it is a monster at 1,416 pounds of steel.
My goodness. Why does it weigh so much?
Well, we're using very high-quality materials in this. So this 14-gauge 304 stainless steel top, for instance, our 16-gauge galvanized steel drawer bodies, our 14-gauge powder-coated drawer fronts, and our 14-gauge 304 stainless steel handles.
Now you mentioned the drawers and their ruggedness. How much can they actually withstand?
So our single rail drawers are rated for 200 pounds and our double rail drawers are rated for 400 pounds. So the heaviest tooling and tools that you can put in it, it's going to be able to handle the weight.
I have a toolbox at home where the drawer comes out about 7/8 of the way, and it's kind of a pain because I lose some stuff back in there. You've thought of that too, and you've taken care of that problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a big frustration for me too, is, you know, the drawer comes out 3/4 of the way and you can't get the stuff in the back. So the way I designed this is these drawers pull out 100%. So whether you're standing at the front of the drawer or you're standing at the side of the drawer, you're going to be able to get those tools out of the back.
I mentioned you have 3 iterations of the 9-foot 4.5-inch workbenches. What are some of the other ones you offer?
So we have the 20-drawer workbench, and then we also have the 18-drawer workbench in 9-foot 4 1/4.
And then there's other lengths as well.
Yeah, we have 3 7-foot models. We have the 24-drawer, the 17-drawer, and the 12-drawer.
If I'm looking to expand from more than just the workbench, what other options do you have for me?
We also have some open door cabinets that go above the workbenches, such as the ones behind you. We have a new corner cabinet that is an upper and lower that are 2 separate pieces that if you need to go into an L-shaped space in your shop, you can have workbenches come off of either side or wall cabinets that come off of either side.
You've got a whole lot of choices. If you go to DragonfireTools.com, you're going to come away with a workbench that is going to last you a lifetime. Go to DragonfireTools.com. Special for our viewers, a discount plus free shipping. All you have to do is enter the code MOTORHEAD. All right, I checked out the schedule and I saw Do Hitchy on there and it said cargo carrier, but Craig, it's so much more than that. What can I do with a Do Hitchy?
Well, Do Hitchy's a cargo carrier. It's a seat, as you can see, we're sitting on, hanging out, chilling out, your own personal space. It's a step, it's a bed extender, and turns into the ultimate tailgating outfit.
So who's using the Do Hitchy?
People, outdoor people, enthusiasts, family.
And it's not just for folks that are out having a good time, it's also for folks that are trying to get it done.
Right.
So if I'm working, how can I use a Do Hitchy?
Well, Do Hitchy's great for carrying your tools. Like if you want to go get some per se roofing, don't even open your tailgate up. You got all your roofing tools in your tailgate. You go get your roofing, you know, a few packs of roofing, throw it on your Do Hitchy, go to the job, throw it off, start working, turn it into a workstation. As you can see on our website, we have different setups, but it turns into a work. You got outriggers for your boards, vinyl siding. Plumbers love it.
Also, if you bought it for the job site, you can take it with you on the weekends and go to the game,
Correct.
which I love about it. It's very versatile. How customizable is it?
Well, we like to say do work, do play, do hitchy. So you got your basic unit, which is your working tailgater, and it turns into your full working tailgater, which is your umbrellas. We sell flag poles, all kinds of different tailgating experiences, I guess you'd call it. We sell college team, NFL licensed products, Major League Baseball. So there's a broad range of do hitchy genres, fishing, hunting, endless possibilities.
And I love that it stores away so easily. Everything right there on the floor is exactly what we're sitting on right here. How strong is it?
As you can see, we're pretty stout, 400 pounds, I'm thinking. And you can see, like I said, it don't go nowhere.
What's it made of?
It's aluminum. It's 6005A aluminum. It's alloy extruded aluminum, right below the 7000, which is aircraft aluminum.
How'd you come up with the idea?
I had a food truck before it was cool, and basically sat here and watched everybody tailgate. And then I thought, well, I got to come up with the idea for tailgating, and that's Do Hitchy was born.
This is designed by you?
Designed by me. We got a patent on it, trademark.
Where's it made?
Southwestern part of Virginia.
All made in the USA?
All USA, all the fabric, everything USA, foam, whole 9 yards.
There are 4 models of the Do Hitchy and 2 models of the cargo carrier. You've got to get one. It's so versatile, and it's going to change the way you do everything. Check them out at dohitchy.com. And check us out when we come back from this right here on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. More cool products like this coming up.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. R3 Industrial Cleaning Services, don't hesitate, remediate. Dragonfire Tools, quality affordable storage. And by Billy Bars, we're truck people.
We've seen in the past few weeks how Tribotex can make your engine perform better, how it can make it last longer, and how it can even bring an old engine back to life. Pretty remarkable stuff, Pasha, but it's not just any old engine oil additive. How is it different from the other products that are out there?
It's a permanent coating that is get applied by nanoparticles layer by layer when they swim inside of the oil and attached to a surface only where friction takes place.
And you touched on it there. They swim inside the oil, but it doesn't actually change the oil, but some other guys are trying to do that.
Typically, oil additives designed to modify properties of the oil, viscosity, thermal stability. Nanoparticles use oil as a carrier, and we try to not interfere with the oil at all.
And when you drain your oil, what happens to the Tribotex?
Tribotex stays. Tribotex stays everywhere where the friction took place, and parts that got involved in friction actually gets heavier because of the Tribotex layer that compensates for the wear, and we call it reverse wear.
How often do I need to use Tribotex?
Typically it lasts 40,000 miles or more in places that not heavy loaded, but the piston cylinder groups takes about 40,000 miles, so we recommend applying it once you change oil a few times. It's a good thing to reapply it.
How do I know that Tribotex works and it's not just some snake oil?
That's a good question. We get it asked quite often. We have over a decade worth of research, from bench tests to lab tests to military vehicles application to high performance vehicles to even jet engines and gearboxes coupled to the jet engines. So the broad spectrum, and collectively vehicles that we applied Tribotex in went over several million miles over the 10 years that we are working in this field.
Hours and hours of testing in the laboratory and tons of real-world testing. Tribotex is the real deal. You can check them out at tribotex.com. Now, Joe, at NHOU Protective Coatings, you've figured out how to protect our cars from rust underneath and how to get rid of the rust that's already there, but now you've discovered a new problem you're addressing.
So this problem was presented to us by one of our customers, and what's really cool about this is I was actually able to take part in a solution to this problem. I was not aware of the fact that many of these car manufacturers several years ago began in their attempt to go green, changing the coating on the wiring and the wiring harnesses, which are very expensive, from a petroleum to a soy-based product. Now, rodents already like getting in there in the first place. It's kind of a warm place, and now they really enjoy the taste of this new soy product. So we have a really big problem with the wiring harnesses, but we also discovered, because people are calling me and saying, hey, there's another application for this. I had HVAC guys call me up saying, they're into the wiring on the air conditioning condensers outside. And the RV people are telling me that, you know, are a big problem. And I know I had one during the winter months. So this kind of solved the problem. And as a byproduct, when you solve the problem with the mice, you also solve the problem of corrosion. And what we've done is we've put a essential oil menthol in there. We know they don't like to touch this oil. We know they're sensitive smelling. We also added something that it disguises predatory scents, like urine from a cat. Your nose won't detect it, but theirs will. And so it's a kind of a three-stage way of protecting you from rodent problems. And as a byproduct, rust.
You can check out the mouse out and all their other products at their website,
NHOUundercoating.com.
Motorhead Garage was shot in front of a live studio audience. Well, at least we were this week, thanks to the Tennessee chapter of the Jeep Babes. Thank you for being here, and thank you for joining us. We're going to do it again next week. And in the meantime, check us out on the socials. And if you have a product you want to see on the show, email Jeff@masterstv.com. So from me, Dave, from the entire crew, and the Jeep Babes, we'll see you next time on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. So long.